Hello friends, and welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about Daniel's REALIEZ album, but like it's an EZ but a ZE, but you get it. Anyway, I'm being joined by Magenta today. It's going to join me for this experience, but more importantly, I goofed. I goofed today. None of you care. You can skip ahead like 10 seconds if you don't want to hear this, but I have Juneteenth off. Today is Juneteenth, and I have Juneteenth off. And I forgot that I had Juneteenth off work, so I woke up at my normal time of 6 o'clock in the morning this morning, and then like got up, took a shower, got dressed, did my morning things, and then remembered I had off work. So I'm very much not pleased at the moment. None of you care. I am aware. We are here to talk about Daniel, and I was very pleased with this album. Not to spoil it, but I did enjoy this album. So, just to go over this is going to work. I'm going to run through the track list, give you my thoughts on each song, and then give the album a score out of 10 at the end. However, I do have some disclaimers before we continue. Disclaimer number 1, I have heard this album twice so far. I listened to it on my way here because I was staying at my mom's house last night. So I listened to it on my way here, and then I listened to it again when I took these notes. But I am only 2 listens in, and my opinions on these songs very much may change over time. Second disclaimer is, of course, my standard one. Everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion because, as the mug always says, music is subjective, and that is great. Okay, now that we have all of that out of the way, we can get started. And first up, we have the pre-release single, Wasteland. And I'm not really gonna dive into this song all that much. I have a whole video reviewing the song. I will link it in the description. You can watch it for my full thoughts. But I'm not gonna re-repeat everything I said there here. I will, however, mention that I really enjoy this song. I actually really like it. It is my number 2 Daniel title. Paranoia can stay number 1 for now. But it is my number 2 Daniel title. I've been listening to it a lot. I really like it, and I just want you to be aware of that fact for when we get to the score. Anyway, on to the actual main title of this album, which is of course SOS, and right off the bat, I will not deny the intro gave me pause. I really didn't like the background music during that part, and I was quite fearful that that was what the entire song was going to sound like. Thankfully, I was mistaken. The song is actually very good. I will admit the first verse is a little bit just mid, like it's kind of just there. It's not doing a ton, although if you get through it, it's not that bad. But also, like, if you get through it, that's when the song gets great. The primary factor is probably the chorus, specifically the background music in the chorus. That background music did something demonic to me. I loved it, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I loved it, but I do love it, so I'm not going to complain about it. Also, the second verse is, in my opinion, far superior to the first. Like, the second verse is a little bit slayful, and I really enjoyed it. Plus, the bridge is a bit of a moment, and then the last chorus, it does my favorite thing for final choruses, which is that it starts off with, like, little to no background music, and then the background music comes in, and every time it does it, it just goes so hard, and I love it. And this is not the only song that does this. Other songs on this album do this, and I love it every time. Big picture, in spite of the slow start, I did really enjoy this song. I did. It's not my favorite Daniel title. I don't even think I'd put it in the top 3, but it's probably top 5, and Daniel has a good few titles at this point, so top 5 isn't that bad, and it's a good song. On to the next song, which is my favorite song on this album, and is Supernova, and I'm not gonna say this is Daniel's best song, like overall best, but I am gonna say it's one of his best, and of his less dark, more poppy songs, it's for sure, like, top 3. Like, I'm sorry, this chorus, I was not emotionally prepared for this chorus. It slaps so hard. The background music is absolutely slaying. It's a moment. I loved it. On top of that, the verses are very good. I prefer the second one over the first one, but they're both great. And also the pre-chorus is great too. The one thing that I will concede, I didn't love the bridge. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. However, I can always get through like a less than ideal bridge because I can just skip it. I can just decide that's where the song ends. So I can just skip the rest of the song. I'm not going to do that here because, again, the last chorus is the thing with the limited background music, and I love it. So we're going to take option B, which is it's not that long. Bridges, especially this bridge, are usually pretty short. So I can just sit through it and then get to the last chorus, which I loved. As a whole, though, I just adored this song. It's already in the Apple Music, and I cannot wait to listen to it several times. We have reached the penultimate song, which is Liar. Now, this is a good song. I want to be clear. This is a good song. It is not in any way a bad song, but we're coming off of 3 great songs, and it is a bit of a noticeable decline. Like, this is going to be one of those songs, I think, that it's going to benefit from being listened to on its own, independently of the rest of the album, because it is actually quite an enjoyable listening experience. I really like the verses. The second one in particular I loved. Plus, the pre-chorus is very pretty, and I was feeling the chorus. The problem isn't the song itself, again. It's the fact that it comes after 3 amazing songs, and it's just not on that level. Anyway, last but not least, we have Dreaming, which is our obligatory ballad of the album, and here's the thing. It's a fine song. The song itself, I have no issues with. The issue I really have, it's not an issue, it's just a slight complaint. I don't come to Daniel for my ballad needs. It's just, that's not who I go to. I will admit, Daniel does sound better here. I said in my Wasteland review, I think he took like extra vocal lessons or something, because I think his vocals have improved between this and his last album. I think he sounds better here. But again, I don't come to Daniel for ballads. I come to Daniel for dark and creepy vibes and the occasional pop song. And I don't come to him for ballads. I have a list of artists I will go to for ballads. Daniel's probably not even in the top 20. That said, this isn't a bad song. I didn't mind listening to it. It's a pretty standard ballad, and as someone who enjoys ballads, I was here for it. But I must also warn you, of course, if you're not a ballad person, if you don't like ballads, don't listen to this song, because you're not gonna like it. But that's all I got. So I guess it's score time, and overall, I'm giving this album a 9.6 out of 10. Now, I will admit, if it was just the first 3 songs, like if this was a single album with just the first 3 songs, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. I probably would, or at least like a 9.9. However, the last 2 songs do bring it down just a little bit. They're not 10 out of 10 level. Neither one of them are bad. They're just not 10 out of 10 songs, but they're both still good. So yeah, 9.6 out of 10. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know what your favorite song is. You can also like and subscribe if you want to or don't. I will be okay either way. And if you want to hear more from me, you can follow me on Twitter at @s_albumreviews. I will link that in the description along with all my other Daniel reviews, specifically my Wasteland review. I'll put that one at the top just so you can see that, to see how I feel about the Wasteland as a song. But thank you again for watching. Bye!